Hi guys, I'm back. Same place, different day, different time. I was just popping in. I was getting ready to take my pills and I thought it would be a good time to go ahead and shoot that video with the pills that I take. I keep them in a case like this. I actually get them ready a month at a time. So the next time that I'm getting my pills together and putting them in the cases, I will go ahead and do video of that just so that you guys can kind of see what it's like for me as I get them ready. It's definitely a lot easier now than it was when I first started because now I know all of the pills. So basically I divide them into 4 different categories for the day. I have it upside down. So the two in the middle, and so the one in the middle and the one on the end are the most important ones. They are the immunosuppressant directly related transplant drugs that need to be taken at specific times. There's also a couple others in that same group that are not immunosuppression but are also timed. So those are the 2 that need to be taken at the same times every day. So I put those separately. Most of the time I take all of them at the same time. So I take my morning group with the timed ones in the morning, and then I take my evening group with the timed ones at night. I used to take the morning group in the morning and then at a certain time take the timed ones, and then this one in the evening, and then before I went to bed the timed ones, but that was just too much. So then I cut it back to 2 times a day, and I take the timed ones and the morning ones at the same time, and then the evening ones and the timed ones for the nighttime at the same time. It's all personal preference as long as the timed ones are taken spaced 12 hours apart. The rest is all up to me, morning and night, as long as they're divided. We'll start with the timed ones for the immunosuppression. So for those, I take 1 tacrolimus, 2 everolimus, and this is metoprolol. This is blood pressure related or heart related. Previmus, this is new for me. It replaced my valganciclovir. That was for the CMV. So the valganciclovir was harder on your white blood cells than the Previmus. So when a person can't tolerate the valganciclovir anymore due to the white blood cell count dropping, they move them over to Previmus. Insurances generally won't cover Previmus until you run into the problem with the valganciclovir. So I was recently switched to the Previmus. And then as far as my morning ones, this is a multivitamin. These are magnesium. I take a calcium Tums, and it helps with vitamin D absorption. So what I learned is that the vitamin D cannot be absorbed without calcium, and by taking the Tums with it, you greatly increase the vitamin D absorption. So much so that it has helped my daughter in other situations, not transplant related, but getting her vitamin D levels up to where they needed to be as well. And none of her doctors told her that the calcium could help, and it definitely did. These are mycophenolate. And I take 5 milligrams of prednisone daily, and fluticasone, pantoprazole, which a lot of people who have heartburn take that. Lung transplant patients take it to protect the lining where the area was connected. And then this is rovastatin. It is so tiny. I'm always afraid I'm gonna lose that. And then this is SMZ. It's a antibiotic that I'm on all the time, but only 3 days a week. So I take this one Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today is Wednesday. So those are my morning group. And then for the evening, I again take the mycophenolate and the pantoprazole and magnesium again, calcium Tums again, amlodipine. This is a very lightweight, like a water pill. So I can't even remember what they were called that I used to take before the transplant because my body retained a lot of water. The amlodipine is much easier on your system and much less strenuous than the original ones. I cannot remember what they're called. It's been a long time, 3 years since I've taken them. But the water pills that they normally have you on, they're pretty rough on the body, and so they try to have you on something much milder, and you don't retain as much water after transplant because everything is working better. So it's kind of just a precautionary thing. And then at night, the other timed ones are 1 tacrolimus, and again, that is immunosuppression, and everolimus is immunosuppression. Not everybody takes both of them. The everolimus is easier on your system than the tacrolimus, and because my kidneys were having a hard time, they decided to do half and half. So your immunosuppression drugs, the level needs to be at a certain level in your body, and so now they get half of that level from the tacrolimus and half of it from the everolimus to conserve my kidney function. And again, the metoprolol. And that is basically my daily regimen that I do twice a day, every day, without fail. And like I said, I get them ready for the whole month at a time. There's no way that I could go through every morning and pull out all these pills and take them and get what else I needed, because it's literally an hour or more long that it takes me to get them all in order and divided up and everything, and it would just be too much on a daily basis. Whenever I go anywhere, I take them with me. So even if I'm gonna be home before the time that I'm due to take them again, I always take them with me. And the reason I do that is because if anything were to happen that I get delayed, or if, I don't know, you're in an accident or anything that makes it so that I can't make it home before the time that I'm supposed to, I have that night or the next dose with me. And I do that for everywhere I go. I don't care if I'm leaving the house for 10 minutes or for, the afternoon or whatever, I take it with me. And when we go on trips, if we're leaving for the week or 5 days or whatever, I take double whatever I'm supposed to have, so that if there's layovers or delays or we get stuck somewhere or something happens there, I have all of the different medications that I need for at least another amount of the same amount of days that we ended up staying. And the reason I do that is just to be on the safe side, and it also gives, if something were to happen, it gives that hospital or whatever a chance to get the medications together that I would need. So after that point, my hospital could either send them, or, you know, if it was to end up going longer than the time that I brought, it would allow time for my transplant hospital to send the medications to me. I have needed medication shipped before. When we were in Vegas at one point, I was in need of different shots. This again had to do with the CMV stuff. And they went ahead and shipped them straight to the hotel so that I had them. So, you know, you just want to kind of plan ahead with that stuff. And this is kind of with any of the medications that anybody's on, whether it's transplant or not. I know for the pulmonary hypertension, when I was taking meds for that, it was pretty important to take those when you were supposed to on a regular basis so that it kept the pressures in your heart down and everything. So it just helps to you know, always have spares or extras with you, just in case. So that is my med list. And it's funny because when they first gave me all this stuff, I was like, how am I ever going to learn which pills are what and what they do and what the name of them? And, you know, it's funny how when you do stuff every day, you do start to know what's going on. And then I also use the hospital apps. I find them extremely helpful because they have a medication list. So when I'm doing my meds, I can just check all the bottles that, and I'll show you this when I do them. So as I add each med to the cases, I'll set that bottle off to the side. And then at the end, I just go through my phone app on there, the medications that are on there, and make sure that I have each bottle for each med that's on my phone. And then I know that I did all of the ones that I was supposed to. And it's just an easy way of staying organized and double checking things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it might be helpful to some with organizing their medications for transplant or otherwise, and also helpful for knowing what meds you might be on. And everybody, for every transplant and every transplant program, they all have different combinations of meds. So some of the ones that I'm on, someone else may not be on, and some may be on more or less, or, you know, so everyone is different, but these are my regimen. Thanks, you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.